All right, we're going to try this again because I already screwed up once. We're going to learn about evaluating exact trig functions. We're going to be using the actual unit circle. So first we're going to look at how to evaluate if it is a degree, and then how to use radian. And one's going to be positive, one's going to be negative. They both use the unit circle. So make sure you are familiar with the unit circle before you try this. Cotan of 225 degrees. So first thing up, I'm thinking about my unit circle. 225 degrees. Now I know that to get half a circle is 180, so 225 is just 45 degrees more than that. So there's the angle we're talking about. Right there is 225. So to evaluate this, we need to understand what coordinate point is at 225. Now, like I said, being familiar with unit circle, you should know that it is square root 2 negative over 2, comma, negative root 2 over 2. There's the point that's represented at angle 225. This is very important. You need to know that your x value is your adjacent side, your y value represents your opposite side. And the radius will always represent your hypotenuse, which with the unit circle is assumed to be 1. Now, this is the easiest part, cotan. Well, if tangent is opposite over adjacent, cotan is just adjacent over opposite, which I arrive at negative root 2 over 2 over negative root 2 over 2. Anytime you got a quadruple decker like this, a fraction divided by a fraction means we multiply by the reciprocal. Some of you may already notice where we're going with this. If I multiply by the reciprocal, everything in this scenario is going to cancel out. All right, pretty nice. Final answer is just 1. You've just evaluated cotan of 225. Very, very basic. All right, let's look radians. And this one throws a negative at us. So we discussed something today that's going to be helpful. Whatever the denominator is, I want you to try to split your unit circle up into those many pieces. So they have thirds. Now keep in mind the entire unit circle is 2 pi. So if I want to split 2 pi into thirds, I need to make 6 pieces, right? Because that'd be 6 over 3. So I'm going to split it in half and then give me my 3 pieces. So you see I've now cut it into 6 pieces because that's how many thirds will make up 2 pi. It's negative, which means I go in the clockwise direction. So starting here, I'll go 1/3, 2/3, 3/3. So right there we're at pi. 4/3, 5/3. Right here is where I would be on the unit circle going negative 5/3 pi. Now at this step, same thing that we did here. Once you know where you're at in the unit circle, identify what coordinate point is associated with that. This coordinate point here is, got to make sure I get it right because this is where I screwed it up last time, 1/2 root 3 over 2. I just did this video and got all the way here and screwed it up because I wrote this wrong. I did it correct this time. Now, they want the sign. Using the same knowledge we know. The x is the adjacent, the y is the opposite, and the radius, which is 1, is my hypotenuse. I hate the intercom. We're going to do it. We're not going to stop. So if I want the sign, I do the opposite. Careful now, that's the y value. Over my hypotenuse, which is 1, which is just root 3 over 2. Nailed it. Evaluating trig functions. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh.